I hadn't planned to stay that night. The office had emptied out hours earlier, leaving behind faint traces of cologne, spilled wine, and the hum of soft jazz someone had left playing on the lounge speakers. I told myself I'd leave after one more drink, after checking one last email, after giving myself an excuse not to go home to an empty apartment. Then she appeared. Delar. She sat across from me in a low chair, her dress catching the glow of the lamp in a way that demanded my attention. I tried not to stare, but my eyes betrayed me. Every movement she made seemed designed to test me, to push me closer to a line I swore I'd never cross. "You stayed late too," I said, keeping my voice even, her lips curled in the kind of smile that knew its power. "So did you." Her glass tilted in her hand, the red wine catching the light before she took a slow sip. She didn't break eye contact. My throat tightened. "We should both go," I said. "If anyone finds us still here, they'll talk." "Let them," she replied. "People always talk. What matters is what we do, not what they think." The way she said it, low and deliberate, made my pulse stumble. I shifted in my seat, pretending to adjust my tie, pretending I wasn't fighting the urge to lean closer. "You sound fearless," I muttered. Her eyes narrowed, playful but sharp. "Not fearless, reckless. Especially when I want something." I swallowed hard. "And what do you want?" Her gaze dipped briefly to my hand resting on the arm of the chair. Then her fingers brushed mine. It was soft, almost accidental, but the pressure lingered. "You already know," she whispered. I should have pulled back. I didn't. The heat of her touch seeped into my skin, into my chest, until it was difficult to breathe. "This isn't right," I said. "We'd regret it." Her lips twitched, like she was holding back a laugh. Regret is easier than wondering forever. The air thickened between us. I could smell her perfume, subtle yet intoxicating, and the faint warmth of her skin carried across the small space separating us. She leaned closer, and my resolve began to unravel. "Ilara," I warned. "Nate," she replied softly. "Look at me." I lifted my eyes to hers. What I saw wasn't playfulness anymore. It was hunger mixed with something deeper, something she didn't want to name. "You're married," I said. Her jaw tightened. "And you're not mine. That's what makes this dangerous. That's why it matters." I wanted to argue, to push her away, but her words hit a nerve. My life had been built on discipline and restraint, and yet in that moment, all of it felt paper-thin. "This isn't a game," I said, my voice low. She leaned even closer, until her breath brushed against my cheek. "Do I look like I'm playing?" Her hand pressed harder against mine, her pulse thrumming beneath her skin. "Why me?" I asked, needing an answer. "Needing something to break the spell?" "Because you see me," she said, her voice trembling now. "Charles doesn't. To him, I'm just decoration, a wife who smiles at the right moments. But you notice me?" Her confession cracked something inside me, "Ilara. That doesn't mean don't give me rules tonight. Give me honesty. What do you feel when I'm this close?" The question cornered me. Every excuse I had evaporated. I didn't answer, because the silence already betrayed me. "She knew it's not right," I whispered again. Weaker this time. "Then let it be wrong," she murmured, leaning so close her lips grazed my ear. "Just once." The word struck me like lightning. Just one time, as if it could be contained. As if it wouldn't spread like wildfire through everything I'd built. "You don't mean that?" I said. She pulled back just enough to look into my eyes. "I mean every word. I don't want forever. I don't want promises. I want tonight." Her boldness rattled me. My voice came out rough, unsteady. "And tomorrow? Tomorrow I'll smile like nothing happened. Tomorrow I'll pass you in the hall like you're only my colleague. But tonight, I want to feel alive." I stared at her, my chest tight, my hand still trapped in hers. "You'll ruin me," I said. "Maybe," she whispered. "Or maybe I'll save you from the prison you don't even realize you're in." I gave a short, hollow laugh. "You think I'm the one trapped?" "Aren't you?" she pressed. "You hide it well, but I see the loneliness in you, Always in control, always polished. But empty when no one's looking. Her words sliced deeper than I wanted to admit. "And if you're wrong?" I asked. She tilted her head, her smile faint, almost sad. "Then you'll forget this conversation tomorrow. But if I'm right, you'll remember every second of what we're about to do." Her face moved closer. My breath caught. Every part of me screamed to pull away, but instead my hand slid against her cheek, lifting her face toward mine. "If we do this," I said hoarsely, "there's no going back." Her eyes flicked to my mouth. Her hand rose, fingers tracing my jaw. My control shattered. "I should stop you," I whispered. Her lips curved into the faintest smile. "Then stop me." I didn't move. Neither did she. Our lips hovered inches apart, the air thick with tension that had been building for weeks. "You'll destroy me," I muttered. "Maybe I'll destroy myself too," she said softly. "Isn't that fair?" Her voice cracked, sadness curling beneath the temptation, and that made her irresistible. I closed my eyes, surrendering. Her lips brushed mine, barely a touch. And yet the shock of it pulsed through my entire body. "This can't," I tried to protest. But she cut me off. "It already has," she whispered against my mouth, and then she kissed me fully, stealing the air from my lungs, making the world fall away until there was only her. My hands betrayed me, pulling her closer, anchoring me to the very danger I'd sworn to resist. It could have lasted seconds or hours. I didn't know. All I knew was that it consumed me. Then it ended with a sound. The creak of the door. I tore myself from her, heart hammering, lips still burning from her kiss. Her hand clutched mine as though refusing to let go. Her eyes wide with panic, the door groaned again, and a shadow stretched across the floor. Someone had entered. Someone had seen. "Elara," I whispered urgently. "Someone's here." She didn't move. Her eyes stayed locked on mine, her breath unsteady, and in that suspended second, everything we thought was private shattered. I told myself I would forget. Pretend that kiss never happened. Pretend her lips hadn't burned into mine, that her hand hadn't held me like she owned me. But the next morning when I walked into the office, I felt her presence before I even saw her. She was already there, standing by the window with a coffee in her hand. She didn't look at me. I didn't look at her. Yet my body betrayed me, every nerve remembering the night before. I forced myself to walk past, to act normal. "Morning," I said, keeping my voice neutral. "Morning," she answered, the corner of her mouth twitching like she knew the storm I was hiding. I sat at my desk, staring at blueprints I couldn't read because her reflection kept flickering in the glass partition. Every time she moved, I felt it. My chest tightened until I had to get up just to breathe. At the copier, I reached for the paper tray at the same time she did. Her hand brushed mine. A spark shot through me, sharp and real. I pulled back too fast. "Sorry, are you?" she asked quietly. I looked at her. Her eyes held mine, steady, bold, no apology. "You can't do that here," I whispered. "You think I'm afraid?" She asked. "You should be," I said. "So should I," her lips curved, slow and dangerous. "Then why are you shaking?" The door behind us opened. A colleague walked in, and Elara turned away as if nothing had happened. I stood there, gripping the edge of the copier, praying no one could hear the way my pulse thundered. The day dragged on, filled with polite smiles and careful silence. We played our parts perfectly. Too perfectly, which only made every stolen glance heavier. By late afternoon, I thought I was safe. I gathered my things, headed to the elevator, and pressed the button. The doors opened, and there she was, alone. I hesitated. "I'll take the next one." Her voice stopped me. "Get in." I stepped inside, heart hammering as the doors closed behind me. The air in the elevator was thick with everything we weren't saying. She leaned close, her voice low. "You're avoiding me." "I'm protecting myself," I muttered. Her eyes searched mine. "From what?" "From you," she laughed softly, a dangerous sound in such a small space. "You kissed me back, Nate." I clenched my fists. It was a mistake. Her hand slid against my arm, slow, deliberate. Does this feel like a mistake? I grabbed her wrist, holding it still. My voice came out raw. Stop. Say you don't want me, she whispered. I couldn't. The silence stretched, and her smile told me she already had her answer. The elevator jolted to a stop. The doors opened to the lobby, filled with people. She slipped out first, her expression calm, professional. I followed, but inside I was burning. I told myself again it had to end, that I couldn't let it happen again. And then, at the end of the day, I saw him. Charles Duval. He walked into the office like he owned it, his suit sharp, his steps confident. Ilara's husband, he spotted me immediately. His smile was charming, but it didn't reach his eyes. You must be Nathaniel Ward, he said, extending his hand. I forced my voice steady. Nate, good to meet you. His handshake was too firm, lingering just long enough to make me uneasy. His eyes locked onto mine, sharp, searching. I've heard your name, he said smoothly. Ilara mentioned you. My stomach tightened. All good things, I hope. He smiled again, this time even sharper. Of course, behind him, Ilara appeared, her expression unreadable. For a split second, her eyes flicked from me to him, then back to me. And in that silent glance, I felt the weight of the secret between us pressing harder than ever. Asterisk when she asked me if I wanted coffee after work. I should have said no. I heard the danger in her tone, saw it in the way her eyes lingered. But my mouth betrayed me. Sure, I said. Now I was here, in her apartment, sitting on her couch. The space was small, but the silence between us was huge, filled with everything unspoken. She set the mugs down on the table. Don't look so nervous. It's just coffee. Coffee doesn't usually feel like this, I muttered. She laughed. The sound light but cutting right through me. You're imagining things. Am I? Her gaze lingered. Maybe not. I sipped, burning my tongue, grateful for the distraction. She tucked her legs under her, leaning closer. Too close. So, she said softly, are you going to pretend nothing happened in that elevator? I've been trying. Not very well, she teased. You shouldn't play like that. Who said I'm playing? I set the mug down, my hands restless. Why am I here, Ilara? Because you wanted to be. That's not an answer. She leaned back, her eyes searching mine. Charles doesn't see me anymore. Not really. I could walk into a room naked, and he'd still be on his phone. I swallowed hard. That's between you and him. It's not just about him. It's about me. I'm tired of being invisible. With you, I feel seen. Her words hit harder than I expected. You can't put that on me. I'm not putting it on you. I'm just telling you why I can't stay away. I wanted to leave. I wanted to stand up, grab my coat, and walk out the door. Instead, I stayed, caught in her orbit. She smiled faintly. You're too serious. Relax. I can't relax around you. Good, she whispered. Her hand brushed mine on the couch cushion. I froze, every nerve in my body sparking. Ilara, I said, my voice low. You don't want me to stop? I shouldn't want any of this. Shouldn't, she echoed, leaning closer. But you do. Her laughter bubbled again when she saw the war on my face. It wasn't mocking, it was sad, almost desperate. Do you know how long it's been since someone just listened to me? She asked. I exhaled slowly. I'm listening, she shifted, her head resting against my shoulder like it belonged there. My whole body went rigid. Ilara, I whispered. Stay, she murmured. I should have pushed her away. I should have stood up. But I didn't. I sat there, every muscle tight, every breath shallow. Her scent filled my lungs, her warmth pressing against me. I wasn't touching her, but I felt her everywhere. You make me feel alive, she said softly. That's not fair. Neither is my life, she replied, her voice breaking for the first time. I turned my head slightly, catching the pain in her eyes. "You're not happy." She shook her head. "Not even close." The words hung between us like a confession, binding us closer. We didn't kiss. We didn't cross that line. But somehow this felt worse. Her head on my shoulder, her heart beat against me, her truth spilling into the quiet. This was intimacy. And I knew it would haunt me. Hours slipped by in silence, broken only by small things: her sigh, my shallow breathing, the clink of mugs on wood. When I finally pulled away, she looked up, her eyes heavy. "I should go," I said. She nodded, though her hand lingered on my arm. "You'll come back." I didn't answer. I couldn't. I left the night air cold against my burning skin. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone buzzed violently in my pocket. Dozens of missed calls, dozens of messages, all from Ivy. My chest tightened as I unlocked the screen. "Where are you? Why aren't you answering?" "I've been calling all night." "I'm worried." My hands shook. I stared at her name glowing in the dark, guilt crashing over me like a wave. I had been with another woman without touching her lips, without undressing her, but I had betrayed Ivy all the same, and I didn't know how to stop. Ivy's voice cut through the quiet of my apartment. "Where were you last night?" I set my keys on the counter, forcing a calm I didn't feel. "Working late?" "I must have fallen asleep at the office." Her eyes narrowed. "Then why was your phone off?" "It died." "I didn't notice until this morning. You always keep a charger in your bag." "I forgot it." I gave a small smile, trying to sound casual. "You sound like a detective." "I'm your girlfriend," she said softly. "Not a detective. I worry." Guilt twisted inside me. "You don't have to." "I'm fine." Fine doesn't mean honest, Nate. Her words landed harder than she intended. I kissed her forehead to silence the questions. "I promise, it was just work." She nodded, though doubt lingered in her eyes. The next day at the office, Alara brushed past me in the hallway, her hand grazing mine. "Just a second, nothing more, but it felt like fire." I whispered, "Careful." She smirked. "Only if you stop looking at me like that." "I'm not looking at you." "You are," she teased, stepping closer until her perfume wrapped around me. "And you can't stop." I backed away, my voice tight. "We're at work." "Exactly. No one suspects a thing." Her confidence terrified me, but I didn't walk away. I never did. That night, Ivy lit candles in our small kitchen. "Surprise dinner," she announced with a hopeful smile. "Just the two of us." I thought we needed it. I forced warmth into my voice. "This looks amazing." She slid into her chair, watching me. "You've been somewhere else lately." "I wanted to bring you back." My chest tightened. "I'm here, are you?" she asked quietly. Before I could answer, she brightened suddenly. "Actually, I made a reservation instead. Somewhere special. Come on, get your jacket." The restaurant was dim, elegant, filled with low music and clinking glasses. Ivy squeezed my hand across the table. "See? A reset button." I tried to smile, but my gaze froze. Across the room, Alara sat with Charles. Her dress clung to her like a secret she dared me to notice. Our eyes met. The world stopped. Ivy followed my stare. "Do you know them?" I forced my voice steady. "I've seen them around the office." "That's Charles Duval, right? Big investor type." She nodded slowly. "And the woman?" "His wife." The words nearly caught in my throat. Alara tilted her glass in my direction, her lips curving into a smile no one else would understand. Ivy looked at me again, suspicion flickering. "You seem familiar." I took a long drink of water. "Just business." Across the room, Charles leaned in close to Alara, speaking with charm. But her eyes never left mine. Ivy tried to fill the silence. "So, tell me about your project. The one that's been keeping you late." "It's nothing exciting. Just deadlines. You used to talk to me about everything." "I still do." "No, Nate," she whispered. "Not anymore." I swallowed hard. "I'll do better." Her hand found mine again, but my attention drifted. Ilara's fingers traced the stem of her wineglass, slow, deliberate, as if meant only for me. My pulse raced. Charles stood suddenly. "Excuse me, love. Need to take this call." Ilara nodded sweetly. Of course, as he left the table, her chair shifted. She rose with elegance, eyes locked on me. Ivy squeezed my hand tighter. "Where is she going?" I couldn't answer. Ilara's heels clicked softly against the polished floor. Step by step, she was crossing the room, straight toward our table. Ilara brushed past me in the office hallway. Her voice a whisper sharp enough to cut through the noise. "I can't stop thinking about you," I froze. "Don't say things like that here." Her lips curved. "Then where should I say them?" "Ilara, you followed me the other night without hesitation," she murmured. "Don't pretend you don't want this." I leaned closer, my jaw tight. "I'm trying to stay in control." Her eyes held mine. "Control is overrated." Before I could respond, footsteps echoed behind us. She slipped away, her perfume lingering like smoke. I forced myself back to my desk, my pulse racing. Hours later, I caught her in the elevator. She stepped inside, the doors closing behind us. She pressed the button for the top floor and whispered, "No cameras in this one." I swallowed hard. "You planned this." Maybe. Her fingers brushed against mine, slow, deliberate. My body betrayed me, leaning in before my mind could resist. She tilted her head, her lips inches from mine. "This is insane," I whispered. "Say you don't want it, and I'll stop." I couldn't. Instead, I kissed her. Quick, dangerous, addictive. When the elevator chimed and the doors opened, we pulled apart instantly, breathing hard. A colleague stepped in, smiling politely, oblivious. I kept my eyes forward, heart pounding. Later that week, Ilara found me at a cafe near the office. She sat across from me, too close, her knee brushing mine under the table. "You're playing with fire," I muttered. "You like the burn, Ilara." "Ivy is asking questions." She leaned in, her voice low. "And Charles is starting to watch me. He notices more than I thought." "What do you mean?" Her gaze flickered with something I hadn't seen before. Fear. He's not who he pretends to be. When he feels control slipping, he gets. "Sharp, are you saying he hurts you?" She looked away. "Not physically, but he knows how to trap me. He knows every weakness I have." My hand clenched around my cup. "Then why risk this?" "Because when I'm with you, I can breathe." Her words pulled me closer even as my conscience screamed to run. That night, Ivy sat on the couch, her arms folded. "You've been distant again. Where are you when you're not here?" "At work. You said that last time. Because it's true? Then why can't you look me in the eye?" I forced myself to meet her gaze. "Ivy, I'm under pressure. That's all." She studied me, her voice trembling. "Do you still love me?" The question stabbed through me. "Of course I do." "Then show me," she whispered. I reached for her hand. But it felt like a lie even as I held it. Days blurred together. Secret meetings with Ilara became routine. A laugh too loud in a quiet corner. Her hand sliding across my thigh beneath a dinner table while colleagues chatted. Her whisper in my ear as we passed in the hallway. Every moment was a gamble. Every touch a risk. The danger made it intoxicating. One night as I walked back to my apartment, my phone buzzed. A new message. "No name attached. I know what you're doing. Stop." My blood ran cold. I looked over my shoulder, scanning the street, but no one was there. My world had just gotten smaller. Asterisk. The text burned in my pocket the whole night. "I know what you're doing. Stop." At the office the next morning, I pulled Ilara into a quiet corner. "Who sent it?" I demanded, her brows furrowed. "What are you talking about?" I showed her the message. Her lips parted. "You think I'd do this? Would you?" She shook her head, her voice trembling. "Nate, if I wanted this over, I'd walk away. I wouldn't hide behind a message, then who?" Her eyes darted to the floor. "Charles watches everything. Maybe it's him. Why would he text me instead of confronting me? Because he likes control. He wants to see you sweat first. I leaned closer, whispering. Then tell me the truth. Are we already caught? Her hand touched my chest. If we were, you wouldn't be standing here. Stop dodging. Ilara, I need answers. Instead of answering, she tugged me toward the stairwell. I resisted. Not here. No one comes down this far, she whispered. Please. The door clicked shut behind us. Silence pressed against the concrete walls. She leaned back against the railing, her shoulders tight. For once, she didn't look untouchable. She looked fragile. Why are you shaking? I asked. Her sleeve slipped, revealing a bruise along her arm. I caught her wrist gently. What happened? She pulled away. Nothing, that isn't nothing. It's not what you think. Then tell me. Her voice cracked. Charles gets angry. Not often, but when he does, he makes sure I don't forget it. Rage surged through me. He hit you? Not with fists. He doesn't need fists. He knows how to hurt me without leaving marks. I stared at the bruise. That's a mark. Her eyes glistened. You think I wanted you to see that? I tried to hide it. Why hide it from me? Because you'll want to fix it. And you can't. I can try. Her voice dropped. That's what terrifies me. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then she reached up, fingers trembling as they brushed my jaw. I'm not asking for a savior, she whispered. I just want someone who sees me. I see you, I said, and I meant it. Even as the voice in my head screamed that she was pulling me deeper into something I couldn't escape. She leaned closer, her lips brushing my ear. Then don't leave me. I pulled back slightly. This isn't just attraction anymore. Her eyes searched mine. It never was. The stairwell door creaked above us. We jumped apart, hearts racing. Footsteps faded down the hall. I exhaled. We can't keep meeting like this. Her smile was sad. Yet you'll come back. I hated how right she was. That night, Ivy waited on the couch, her arms crossed. Where were you? Late meeting with who? Clients. She studied me carefully. You've been working a lot of late nights, it's the job. Her voice sharpened. Then why do you smell like perfume that isn't mine? My stomach dropped. Ivy, don't lie. I don't want to fight. Then tell me the truth. I forced my tone calm. I'm exhausted. I'm stressed. That's it. She leaned back, eyes glossy. Do you think I'm blind? You come home distracted, half here? I don't even recognize you. I'm still me. Then prove it. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. Actions, Nate. Not words. I swallowed the guilt burning in my throat. I'll do better, she nodded, though her silence told me she didn't believe me. The next day, Ilara cornered me again. Did you delete the message? Yes. Good. Don't give whoever it is more power. What if they send another? Then we'll deal with it. Her hand brushed mine. You're not alone in this. But I was. I felt it. That evening, I came home to find Ivy folding laundry. She picked up one of my shirts, holding it to the light. Her voice broke the silence. What's this? I looked closer. A faint lipstick stain on the collar. Her hands trembled. This isn't mine. My chest tightened. No lie could erase what she saw. Asterisk Ivy stood in front of me, gripping my shirt so tight her knuckles went white. Whose lipstick is this, Nate? I tried to keep my voice steady. I don't know. You don't know? Her laugh cracked in half. Do you think I'm stupid? Ivy, listen to me. I have been listening. Every night I listen to the silence when you're not here. Every morning I listen to excuses. Now I'm staring at proof. I reached for her wrist. It's not what you think. Her eyes glistened. Then tell me what it is. I can't explain it. You can't or you won't. Her voice shook, but her stare cut me open. Ivy, please. I don't want to hurt you. Her tears spilled. You already did. She pulled away, retreating to the bedroom, leaving me standing in the wreckage of my own lies. The next day, my phone buzzed with a message from Charles. Dinner. My place. 7. I read it twice. An invitation or a summons? Either way, refusing wasn't an option. At 7 sharp, I stood at the grand iron gate of his estate. The house loomed, its lights glowing too bright against the dark. The butler opened the door. Charles's voice carried from the hall. "Nate, come in. You're right on time." He emerged from the dining room, tall and composed, his smile smooth. I admire punctual men. It means they have nothing to hide. "Thank you for the invitation," I said, forcing calm. "Invitation? No, this is family. And family doesn't need to be invited." Alara appeared at the top of the staircase, her silk dress catching the light. Her eyes lingered on me for a fraction too long before she descended slowly, each step deliberate. Charles gestured toward the dining room. "Let's eat." The table stretched long, candles flickering between silver platters. He motioned for me to sit across from him. Alara sat at his side, silent, her gaze fixed on the glass in front of her. Charles poured wine. "Tell me, Nate, how do you find the work environment? Comfortable?" I kept my tone neutral. "Challenging, but rewarding." "Good. A man grows soft in comfort. Pressure makes diamonds." He raised his glass. 2 diamonds. I clinked my glass against his. The wine burned on my tongue. He leaned back, eyes studying me. "You spend long hours at the office. Does your wife mind?" My pulse jumped. "She understands the demands of the job. A patient woman, then. Rare." His smile sharpened. "You should value her. Wives see what we miss." Ilara's hand twitched against her lap. Charles's eyes never left me. "Tell me, Nate," he said softly. "Do you believe in loyalty?" "Yes. Unwavering loyalty." "Yes. Even when temptation whispers in your ear." The air grew heavy. I forced a nod. "Especially then." He leaned forward, his smile thin. "Good answer." The meal dragged. Every bite of steak tasted like ash. Alara barely touched her plate, her fingers tracing the rim of her glass. At one point, Charles excused himself to take a call. The moment he disappeared down the hall, Alara whispered, "Why are you here?" "Because he invited me?" "You shouldn't have come." "What choice did I have?" "You always have a choice." "Do you think he knows?" Her eyes flicked toward the door. "He suspects everything." "He always does." Her voice dropped lower. "You need to leave before this destroys you." "And you?" She looked at me, pain flickering across her face. "I was destroyed a long time ago." The sound of Charles's footsteps ended the moment. He returned with a smile too wide. "Where were we?" he asked. We finished dinner in silence. When the plates were cleared, Charles stood, circling the table slowly until he reached me. He placed a firm hand on my shoulder. His grip was heavy, his breath close. "Be careful who you trust, Nate." My stomach turned cold. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Ilara's hands trembled as she grabbed mine, her voice low and urgent. "Nate, I can't stay here anymore. I can't breathe in that house, Alara. Listen to me." She leaned closer, her eyes desperate. "Every day with him feels like drowning. I wake up waiting for his shadow to fall across me. I need out. I need you. You want me to run away with you?" "Yes." Her nails pressed into my skin. "Right now. Tonight. I can't do this without you." I pulled my hands free, my chest tight. "Do you understand what you're asking?" "I understand I'll die if I stay with him. Maybe not in body, but in everything else. Ilara, this isn't just about you. I have Ivy." Her eyes softened for a moment, then hardened. "Does Ivy look at you the way I do? Does she touch you like I do? Does she make you feel alive?" "Ilara, stop," she whispered fiercely. "You don't want me to stop." My silence betrayed me. Her lips hovered close, her breath warm against my cheek. "Say it. Say you'll leave with me." I closed my eyes. "I can't." "You can't, or you won't." "I can't do that to Ivy." Her voice cracked, a mix of anger and heartbreak. "She will never love you the way I do." I turned away. every word slicing me in half. But later that night, I drove back to her street anyway. I told myself it was to make sure she was safe. That was the lie I clung to. She opened the door before I even knocked. "You came, Alara. This is a mistake." "Then why are you here?" I had no answer. She pulled me inside, shutting the door. "You came because you need me to." I swallowed hard. "I shouldn't be here. You're exactly where you're meant to be." Her fingers brushed my jaw, lingering. The heat of her touch burned through my resistance. "Alara," she pressed closer, her lips inches from mine. "Don't say my name like that if you don't want me." My breath caught, my body betraying my mind. Then a voice shattered the air. "Nate." I spun, my blood freezing. Ivy stood in the doorway, her face pale, her eyes wide with horror. "Ivy," her scream cut through the night. "How could you?" "Ivy, please, let me explain." She shook her head violently, tears streaming. "Explain what? That I was a fool? That every late night, every lie, was because of her?" Alara whispered, "Ivy, don't you dare speak to me." Ivy's voice broke. "You knew he had someone. You knew he had me." I stepped forward. "Ivy, wait. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think." She backed away, her hands trembling. "I gave you everything. I believed every word, every excuse. And this is what you were doing?" My throat tightened. "I never meant to hurt you." "You didn't mean to? Then what is this, Nate?" Her voice cracked like glass. "Is it love? Is it lust? Tell me, because I need to hear it, Ivy." "I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this." She turned and bolted out the door, her sobs echoing into the night. "Ivy, wait." I chased after her. She ran into the street, blinded by tears, her hands covering her face, and then headlights cut through the dark. A black car slowed, the engine low and menacing. The window rolled down. Charles's eyes met mine. The rain came down in sheets, soaking me to the bone. Ivy stood across from me in the street, her hair plastered to her face, her eyes blazing with hurt. "Say it, Nate. Say you love her, Ivy. It's not that simple." "It is that simple." Her voice cracked. "You were mine. I trusted you. I defended you when people said you were distant, when they said you were distracted. I told them you just worked too hard. I was blind, wasn't I?" I shook my head, water dripping into my eyes. "No, you weren't blind." I was weak. Her jaw trembled. "So it's true. Everything I feared. You let her crawl into your life, into your bed, while I sat at home waiting for you. Ivy, please." My voice broke. "I never wanted to lose you. Then why did you throw me away?" Her fists clenched at her sides. "Why wasn't I enough?" Behind her, the car door clicked. Charles leaned against it, umbrella over his head, a smirk curling his lips. "Touching, really," he called out. "But maybe you two should take this inside before you drown." "I don't need an audience," Ivy snapped. Glaring at him, Charles chuckled, his eyes sliding to me. "On the contrary, I think this little performance suits me just fine." Ivy's tears mixed with the rain. "You disgust me, Nate." "Ivy, wait." I reached for her arm. She jerked away. "Don't touch me." Her voice dropped, sharp and final. "We're done." She turned, running down the street into the storm. My chest caved, my legs screaming to chase her. But Charles's voice froze me in place. "Let her go." He twirled the umbrella lazily. "Chasing after her won't save you." I glared at him. "What do you want from me?" "Want?" His smirk widened. "I already have everything I want." Before I could respond, Alara appeared at the doorway, her arms wrapped around herself, her eyes wide with fear. "Charles, stop, stop." He raised an eyebrow. "I haven't even started." She rushed to me, grabbing my hand. "We need to leave." I pulled back slightly, staring at her. "Leave? After what just happened?" Her grip tightened. "You have to trust me." I laughed bitterly. "Trust? After Ivy just walked away because of you?" Alara's voice cracked. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is, I snapped. Because all I see is a mess I can't crawl out of. Charles's smirk didn't falter. Go on, Alara, tell him the truth. He deserves at least that. Her lips trembled, her eyes darting between us. Ilara? My voice dropped. What truth? She whispered almost too softly to hear. You weren't just someone I wanted, Nate. You were someone I needed. I frowned. Needed? Her eyes filled with tears. I needed a way out. You were supposed to be that way. My stomach dropped. So this, us, it wasn't real? It was real, she said quickly, stepping closer. I swear it was real. But yes, at first I wanted you because you were perfect. Not for love, but for escape. Charles let out a low laugh, clapping slowly. And there it is. The grand confession. I stared at her, my voice hollow. I was your pawn. No, she pleaded, her hands gripping my shirt. It started that way, but then you what? Decided to keep using me until you could figure out how to get rid of him? Charles's eyes gleamed with amusement. Bravo, Nate. You're catching on, Alara. My voice cracked, betrayal burning in my chest. Did you ever love me? She hesitated. That hesitation answered everything. I stepped back, the ground beneath me spinning. You destroyed me. Her tears fell freely now. Nate, I swear it wasn't just a game. I fell for you. I didn't mean to, but I did. Do you have any idea what I just lost? Ivy. The woman who trusted me. And for what? For you to tell me I was a strategy? Alara shook her head desperately. I'm not lying. Charles isn't who he seems. He's dangerous. I needed someone strong enough to stand beside me. Charles tilted his head, his grin cutting like a blade. Dangerous. You wound me, darling. He stepped toward us, his shoes splashing in the puddles. Tell me, Nate, you really thought she loved you? Ilara's fingers dug into my sleeve as if holding me could erase what I had just heard. Nate, don't look at me like that, she begged. It wasn't a trick. I love you. Love. My voice was raw. You used me. You tore my life apart just to get away from him. Her eyes darted to Charles, who leaned back against the car as if enjoying a show. I had no choice. You don't know what it's like to live with him. He controls everything, Charles smirked. Careful, darling. You'll make me sound cruel. You are cruel, she snapped. I shook my head. Stop. Both of you. This isn't about control. This is about me being stupid enough to believe you when you whispered that it would be just one time. Alara reached for my face. I meant it then. I stepped back. And every time after that. What was that strategy? Entertainment. A way to pass the time until you figured out your next move? Her tears spilled fast. It became real. I swear it did. I wanted you. I needed you. That wasn't fake. Charles pushed off the car and strolled toward us. She is right about one thing. She needed you, but not in the way you think. I clenched my fists. You knew? His grin widened. From the beginning. You think I wouldn't notice my wife sneaking off? You think I wouldn't hear the whispers, the lies, the late nights? Of course I knew. I let it play out. My chest tightened. Why? Because men like you always destroy themselves. All I had to do was wait. Ilara turned on him. You're lying. If you knew, why didn't you stop me? He laughed softly. Because, darling, I wanted to see how far you would go. And look at you. Desperate. Clinging to another man in the rain. You couldn't humiliate yourself more if you tried. Her voice cracked. You don't care about me? You never did. I care about winning. His eyes locked on mine. And right now, I already have. Ilara shook her head and grabbed both my hands. Don't listen to him. Nate, we can still fix this. Run away with me. Leave all of this behind. Forget Ivy. Forget him. Forget everything. Just choose me. Her voice was frantic, trembling like the ground was slipping beneath her feet. I pulled my hands free. I can't. I don't even know who you are anymore. I'm the woman who risked everything to be with you. You're the woman who cost me everything." Her face twisted with pain. "No, Nate, please, don't say that." Charles clapped slowly, rain bouncing off his umbrella. "Well said." Finally some clarity. I turned to him, rage rising. "You think this is a game?" "It is a game," he replied coolly. "One. You played poorly." Ilara lunged at him, her voice shaking. "You ruined me." "No, darling," Charles said, brushing invisible dust from his sleeve. "You ruined yourself." She fell back, her body crumpling, sobbing into her hands. The sight should have broken me, but all I felt was emptiness. I heard Ivy's voice in my head, her cry in the rain when she asked why she wasn't enough. I saw her eyes when she realized I had betrayed her. That was the image that cut deepest. "Ilara," I whispered, "I can't do this anymore. I can't lie. I can't keep pretending what we had was anything but a mistake." Her head snapped up. "A mistake?" "Yes." My throat burned. "The worst one of my life." She crawled toward me, gripping my leg, her voice raw. "Don't say that. Don't throw me away like him. I chose you. I gave you everything. And I gave up everything for you," I said sharply. "And now there's nothing left." Charles smiled like a man watching a play reach its final act. "Karma, my friend, always delivers." Ilara screamed at him through her tears. "You'll never have me again." He tilted his head. "I don't want you. I only wanted him to see what kind of woman you really are." She froze, her body trembling. I staggered back, the truth settling like lead in my chest. Charles hadn't just beaten me. He had orchestrated my downfall, step by step, and I had walked straight into it. Ilara crawled closer, desperate. "Nate, listen to me. He doesn't love me. He never did. But you. You're different. You saw me. You touched me. You made me feel alive." I looked down at her, her mascara smeared, her dress clinging to her in the rain. Once she had been irresistible, magnetic. Now she looked like the truth itself. Fugly, broken, unforgiving. "Get up," I whispered. She shook her head. "Not without you. I'm not coming with you." Her scream tore through the storm. Then what was it all for? I felt my voice harden. For nothing, her hand slipped from my leg as she collapsed onto the wet ground, sobbing uncontrollably. Charles patted my shoulder with mock sympathy. Tough lesson, but one worth learning. I shoved his hand away. "Stay away from me." He only smiled. "I don't have to do a thing. You've already lost." I turned away, the sound of Elara's cries echoing behind me. The rain pounding harder like the sky itself was punishing me. I saw Ivy's face in my mind again, the trust I had destroyed. No words could bring her back. No excuse could mend what I had broken. As I walked away from them both, one thought clawed at me, unrelenting, her whisper. That night, those words, "just one time," and I said yes. Now I would carry the weight of that choice forever.